Hello and greetings, everybody there. Welcome here to Prog Monster. My name is Murph. I am the host of this show, a show dedicated to progressive rock and other forms of rock music. So it's ranking the albums night, Friday night, ranking the albums. We're now starting the playoffs. I guess that's what you want to call it, or the final challenges. This is the semifinals here. So Ben has given me the two setups for the two semifinals. The first one will go today. The next one will go next Friday. So what we do here is, generally speaking, Ben gives me 4 albums from his collection. I listen to them all, and then I rank them according to how I like them, with the number 1 album that I rank the highest going on to the semifinals, which were happening tonight. So we've done all 8 rounds at this point. And we have 8 finalists, and he's put them into 2 groups. Looks like he put the older albums into the first group and the more newer albums into the second group. I can't remember exactly who's in the second group, but I think they were more modern. These albums are all pretty much from the 70s. Actually, they're all from the 70s. And I put them in the order I'm presenting them. I put them in the order that the series ran first. So UFO and Force It is one of the albums. STYX II is the second album in it. Led Zeppelin's Presence is the third album, and Jethro Tull's Stand Up is the last one. So I actually own 3 of these albums, Stand Up being one of them. Excellent album. The Presence by Led Zeppelin, of course. And STYX II, which I have the wooden nickel collection here. You'll see that on the album. See where it's written, the complete wooden nickel collection. And the album we're doing from that collection is this one, STYX II, their second album and the first one to have a hit for them. And so those are the 4 albums we're doing. The only one I don't own is Force It, the UFO album. It's funny, it was the only one I didn't own the last time it was in the first round too, but it beat out the 3 that I did own. So it was kind of an oddball. Unfortunately, I don't think it's going to do it this time. So these are all 4 of these albums are strong. There's no weak ones here. So I'm going to go with my least favorite, is a better term than to be the worst album. And the one that came in there, and it only lost out by a small amount. The other 3 albums, I think, did better than it. But it didn't get cleaned or wiped out. It's the UFO Force It. This is a strong album. Lots of great riffing on this. This is almost like a heavy metal album, but I would say it's more of a hard rock album. Some excellent guitar playing on this album. I do like the vocals quite a bit. This is the first kind of UFO album that I kind of liked quite a bit. Some of the other stuff I've listened to, and I just couldn't get into it for whatever reason. It might have been timing more than anything else. But this one here, I kind of like it. It's kind of come along at a time when I'm really getting into some metal and into some more hard rock than I have been in recent years. And so it kind of is fit in here nicely. So it won its first round over its 3 challengers, but it's going to end up 4th here, just because, not that it's a bad album. I think it's a great album. I just think that the other 3 albums are stronger. So the album that's going to come number 2 here comes out of my wooden nickel collection. You'll see it right here in the corner where my finger's tapping. That's there's the wooden nickel cover. That's STYX II. I do like this album. It's still growing on me. It's still getting stronger every week, but I don't think it has it just falling short of getting that second place. It actually got quite a bit stronger since we did it in the first round, or in the second round. I think it was actually the second episode of the second round. But it's gotten stronger since then. We'd given it another month or so, might have been able to overtake the number 2 album, but definitely a strong album. I like it better than STYX I so far, and I'm working my way through the STYX Wood and Nickel catalog right now. So the next one up will be the Serpent and the King, I believe, is next up on that one. But this is a pretty strong album. It's got, of course, the big hit, Lady, the kind of power ballad that everybody has come to know as being STYX's kind of first big hit. The rest of the album, pretty solid. Lots of harder stuff than I had originally thought there was going to be, especially the back 2 or 3 songs, really heavy. And I think Dennis DeYoung's voice is already reaching to what we've come to expect from him. Some people have complained that the album qualities aren't as good. I don't think it's as bad as people think. I think the problem with the Wood and Nickel label wasn't the quality of the music as much as that they didn't have the kind of power or the kind of pushing power that STYX needed to really push their music out there, because these 4 albums are strong. Yeah, excellent, but just a little bit hair shy of getting that second place. So the second place album, this was a real battle here. I originally had one of them on top when I first started the semifinal, and I've listened to both of them. And I do like the album that's going to come in second a lot, and it was going to come in first at one point. But I think it's a solid album from top to bottom with 1 or 2 really outstanding tracks. So overall, I would say it's a more stable and solid album. And we're talking about Jethro Tull's stand-up here. However, it doesn't have, other than Fat Man, it doesn't really have a tune that really is outstanding other than that one tune. The rest of them are really solid. This is a solid album. A little bit more bluesy than some of the later Jethro Tull album, not as progressive an album. There's only 4 guys on here too. The music instrumentation is good, but I don't think it's as strong as stuff that's coming from them in the future. But it's still a solid album. I originally was going to put this as number 1, but I've started to get really into the number 1 album today, which will win it, is The Presence. This album took me a while to get into this. I had it in my playlist for a while and decided it wasn't really catching on, so I took it out. But then Ben put it in this ranking thing, so I said, you know what, I'll listen to it. And because I really had to listen to it solidly, I've come to really like the first 4 songs on this album are absolutely better than anything on any of these other albums. Maybe STYX's Lady, maybe Fat Man of Jethro Tull. There's a couple songs on UFO that are pretty strong too that might rival these first 4 tracks. But I think that's why I decided to pick it as a winner. I just think the first 4 tracks are just without precedence on any of the other albums. Achilles' Last Stand. This is a great Led Zeppelin song, one of their great songs. Better than anything on any of the albums, I think. For Your Life and Royal Orleans, both really solid, strong songs, as good as anything on these albums as well. Nobody's Fault But Mine. This is an underrated killer of a song here. And then it kind of tails off a bit with Candy Store Rock, Hots On for Nowhere, T for One. Those 3 tracks are good, but it's a drop-off, quite a bit of a drop-off. So I almost put this album second because overall I think the Jethro Tull album is a little bit higher on average. But this one's top songs are better, so I'm going to go with the top song one this time. Maybe if I'd given this a little more time, some of those weaker songs might have been better. I'm thinking that could possibly happen in the finals, so I'm not sure. But Led Zeppelin's Presence is going to be going to the finals against one of the winners, or one of the albums from the second semifinal, which will go next week. So I hope you've enjoyed this episode of ranking the albums, the semifinals. Led Zeppelin is our winner. Please like and subscribe. I appreciate that. And if you can leave a comment, or you can rank these albums to how you feel, maybe point out something here or there that you think that I missed that needs to be pointed out, or maybe you think one of the albums isn't as good as I say it is. It's all fair. We're just having a discussion about it. Everybody has a difference of opinions. I actually had a guy point out something on an album once that I had kind of overlooked because I didn't think much of it, but he pointed it out, so I started listening to it to see if what he was hearing was different than what I heard. And you know what? I found out that he was actually right, so you never know what you're going to learn from people, and that's the whole that's the whole purpose of this whole YouTube site for me, is for me to learn and for you to learn and for us to grow and keep this alive. It's important to keep rock alive. It's also important to keep album stuff alive, because I think it's kind of a lost art, and a lot of people have kind of drifted to just the songs, and that usually ends up just being the radio stuff. So a lot of this stuff that you hear, you'll never hear on the radio, and you're missing out a ton of stuff when you do that, in my opinion. So anyway, just gonna reiterate them just once. Led Zeppelin's Presence will win this, coming in first. Stand Up from Jethro Tull will come in second. STYX II from my wooden nickel collection here, which is right here, will come in third. And UFO, by a hair, lost out to STYX, who then lost out by a hair to the other two, who then got beat by a hair. So it's probably one of the closer battles. So the UFO Force It will come forth. So I hope to see you all next week for the other semifinals. So take care and have yourself a good night. Goodbye.